Welcome to the Online Success Journey Podcast, your opportunity to discover and learn from entrepreneurs like yourself. This is not your typical podcast, but a place where you can get the real story and find out how real people encounter speed bumps and detours, but journey through to find success. Now here's your host for the Online Success Journey Podcast, Patience.
Hello everyone and welcome to Online Success Journey. This is episode 223. Are you ready to join the clan? Today we have Kisa Puckett, a creative director of marketing and branding agency. She helps new and established entrepreneurs and business owners build widely successful business through creating highly visible and profitable branding identities. Hello, Kisa.
Hello. Thank you for having me.
Thank you for coming. I know the clan is anxious to hear your story, so let's get started with the basics. Can you tell my clan a bit about your background, about what you did before you started your online business?
Yes. So you know what? I have a pretty eclectic background actually, and it's fairly unique because it allows me to, with it being so unique, it allows me to work with so many different businesses in the online space. But I actually started out offline. I started out in restaurant business very, very early on. I was literally in my early 20s. And, I had that for a couple years. And you know what? I said, restaurant business is not for me. It almost killed me, I feel like. And so I ended up selling the business and then going into two other businesses, which mainly involved consulting. And I also had a beauty brand. And so in both of those industries, I actually did quite a bit of marketing and branding online. And so that was kind of like my first segue into the online business world. But I've been in this thing for over 18 years. So I've helped like so many business owners, entrepreneurs, and larger organizations with their marketing activities and branding, but mainly from the online space.
What is the most dangerous belief an online entrepreneur can have?
The most dangerous belief, huh? believing that everything is going to be smooth sailing at all times. That's not. Yeah. So believing that you're not going to have hiccups and challenges in business, and that your first idea is going to always end in your best idea. Really having a singular way of thinking about business, especially in the online space where things are changing so rapidly and platforms are changing so rapidly, and there's so much that's going on online that gets a lot of people distracted. But many times when you go in as an entrepreneur or business owner and you really think about business, especially on the online space, as like, if this idea doesn't work, then I don't know what, or if you hit a challenge or a snag, then you're ready to give up. And so it's a very dangerous space to be when you don't allow yourself to get to a place of being okay with growing. And in that growing comes, there's going to be challenges. You may have a failed opportunity or something that fails, but as long as you keep going, you'll see it all the way through. And so when you don't have that way of thinking, a lot of times you'll hit these different things and you'll be so disappointed and wanting to give up. And so obviously you can't be successful if you give up. And so just knowing that it's a process and just knowing it's more of a journey and learning through it. And there's really no such thing as like a fail, because you learn through all of this. You learn what to do, what not to do, especially when you're talking about on the online space where things are rapidly changing. So that, I would say, would be the worst thing. You don't want to go into this thinking that everything has to be like straight line, nothing can go wrong in order for you to get to where you need to be, because you don't want to be disappointed to the place of where you give up. You don't want to do that.
Okay, you've been in business for the last 18 years. Why do you do what you do, Kisa?
Well, I absolutely love community in general. I do, like I said, quite a bit. Being in the marketing space, I do a lot online in digital marketing. I've been around. I've seen the growth of, most of the big names that everyone hears about, because I've been around so long. And even in offline, I even take my online community and have live experiences with them as well. And so for me, it's really about bringing people together and affecting people in a certain certain way where it not only transforms their life and their business, but it also affects generations. I'm really passionate about supporting the next gen. So those that are coming behind us, our children, the ones that are really going to take the reins later and become our next leaders. And I know that by supporting and doing the things that I do in my world, in my zone of genius, and how I support other business owners, entrepreneurs in the communities I serve, I then also am funneling into our next gen and really supporting them and bringing them up and really having a piece of what I do is giving a piece of something that's yet to come, which is our next gen leaders. So that's why for me it's super important. I'm very passionate about the evolution of our generations behind us.
Let's put man aside. How do you know you are successful?
Successful. Well, when you can have major impact in what you do in your world, that's how you know. It cannot only be about, definitely it's about, you're in business, it's about the money as well. But when you really know that the thing that you're doing is impacting lives, you know that you are successful. In everything I do, no matter whether it's small or whether it's large, when there's people's lives have been changed, when they come back to you and they say how you have influenced them to make certain decisions in their life to where it has taken them to the next level, both personally and professionally, you know that you are doing the thing that you're supposed to be doing in your world and you're making that impact. And so it goes even beyond just having financial success in business. It also very much so has to do with the type of impact that you are making in people's lives, where you're asking yourself and you're able to ask yourself, are they getting ahead? Are they getting better? Are they getting to next level? Are they impacting the world that they're in? You know, and so if you can answer yes to those things and you're out in the world and you are doing that, that to me is what makes me successful.
Can anyone be an entrepreneur, or are some people more cut out for it than others?
Yeah, so it's so funny because I give quite a few workshops in support of the business community. As a matter of fact, I'm a marketing director on 2 national organizations that help businesses. So for most of what I do with those is I do a lot of teaching and instruction and workshops and things like that. And one of those particular workshops earlier this year was about, that kind of the landscape of what entrepreneurship is all about and what it really takes to achieve greatness and achieve success and the type of person you need to be. Now, I'm not going to go as far as to say you have to be born an entrepreneur. There are some certain things that obviously you have to have because it does take skin in the game. It does take tenacity. It does take, some of the things that some people, it doesn't come as easy for them. But when you look at life in general and you just take out the entrepreneurship piece, the life journey is basically entrepreneurship. The things that we have to go through, how we're stretched, how we grow, how challenges come up, all of those things, if we think in that mindset, all of us have to go through the same life. And I feel that's a direct parallel with entrepreneurship. So when we start shifting our way of thinking about whether someone is cut out to be an entrepreneur, we really need to more so look at it as like life. If we're able to go through life and we're able to go through these different challenges, then many of us that think that we may not be entrepreneurial or can't be an entrepreneur will find that, yes, I actually can. There are certain, obviously, things that you have to, work on. There's so many resources now. This is not like back in, the heydays. There's so many resources now to build on and grow for you to develop in areas that you're weak in. But I don't necessarily believe that, you have to be this certain kind of person to be an entrepreneur. You definitely can grow in the areas that you're weak in order to step into that for sure.
What have you learned from business as a whole?
From business as a whole. So I keep going back to this piece because it is super important, and it's one of the things that's most important when it comes to business. Like I mentioned, I've been in business in different capacities, and as a consulting basis, as building a beauty brand, as a brick and mortar, and then majority of my years have been in the online space. And that whole tenacity thing, having tenacity and having the drive to continue to go grow without, being so discouraged from different disappointments that will happen along the way in your journey is key. Having that level of strength to keep going, to keep being creative, to keep pushing, to keep looking for resources to develop and grow by, that is super, super important in business in order to get to the next level. So for me, that would be like the biggest thing. When you have that, most of the things that will come up and rise its head over the years of your journey will literally just be an experience in the journey, and you will still get to that place and you will still experience greatness and success and all of that good stuff if you keep going. That is the most important piece. Keep going.
What is one thing no one knows about you?
One thing that no one knows about me. Oh my gosh. There's a couple. Really?
Okay.
I love this. This is so funny. So I don't know if everyone knows this one show. It's called Three's Company. It's a show that I used to watch when I was a kid. And literally, I know this is like off business completely. This is just all me and my quirkiness. But literally, the show that I used to watch when I was like, how old was I? I had to be like my son's age. So I was like 11 or 12 years old. It was my favorite show. It was called Three's Company. It's basically all of this like corny comedy and all that stuff. I literally, like, every night, or at least almost every night, I go to bed watching Three's Company so that I could like totally like disconnect from the world and all of the serious stuff and just laugh at corny jokes. And that's kind of what I do. I go to sleep with that. The other thing I wanted to mention, I can't leave this out. I pretty much only work with essential oils going. I always have to have my essential oils and diffusers going all day. And pretty much they put me to sleep at night when I switch oils and I go to sleep at night. And so that's like a couple things, corny things that no one really knows that I do, but that's kind of what I do. It's my thing.
Wow. Okay, thank you for sharing. In your businesses for the last 18 years, have you ever had a mentor or a coach?
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. I mean, I can't, you're not, you really should not even be thinking about business if you're not thinking about continuing to grow and develop in your own space, in your own way, personally. That's super important. So for me, yes, I have always had mentors and coaches and things along the way, both in an informal setting as well as a formal setting. I believe in us being interconnected. I don't believe that you should be doing business alone. It just does not work that way. And you need to be open to other brilliance, and you need to be open to other people that have a zone of genius that you may not be able to see, or that can see your blind spots. And to me, that is one of the most important things as you're growing, to always kind of remain a student in what you're doing. You never stop learning. So no matter how expert you are, like I've been doing this forever, and I know, I have an expertise in marketing and branding, but I am always developing. I am always growing. I am always going to continue to learn. So yes, absolutely. I always have a mentor. I always have a coach. At times I will have two, and I currently do. So yes, that's very important.
What is the most valuable thing your mentor or coaches has told you?
You know what? I want to say it's more about hearing the thing that, you have all these ideas. A lot of times, entrepreneurs are, visionaries, they're big thinkers. They have like a lot of different ideas. And sometimes, especially with being on the online space, you have so many different directions you want to go. And it's like, you keep hearing that thing where it's like, okay, you got to focus on this one thing, or you got to focus on this thing and then get good at this and get amazing at this and dominate this, and then you can go into something else. And so I feel like many of us struggle with that because we get shiny object syndrome. We see stuff that we want to jump into when something new comes. And it's this constant thing that we all kind of deal with and we're exposed to. So with my coaches and consultants, I think really the thing over the years that I've learned is really focusing in on what is most important, and really just focusing in on that one thing and mastering it before you start entertaining other things. Because when you're spread too thin, or when we celebrate this whole multitasking across different products and projects and different businesses, we are not as effective or impactful the way that we could be if we would just focus and master and dominate one thing. And so I would say over the years, and it wasn't just one particular coach, I think over the years, as hearing it different ways and having experiences in business, especially in the online space, has brought me to that realization that I have now to make sure that I actually am mastering things before I entertain anything else.
What is the most valuable thing you have ever given away?
The most valuable thing I've given away is actually my time. My expertise, and my coaching. So for over 7 years, as a matter of fact, I still do it to this day. I actually mentor, it's for free. I mentor interns all over the world, really. At one point, they literally were in several countries. Right now, I have all across the country where I'm mentoring college students that are looking to get to their next level, that don't have access to the types of resources that you would 20 years from now, or they would 20 years from now when they're a little bit older and wiser, where they kind of know a little bit more. And so what I've done for them is I've planted seeds in them to give them that 18 plus years that I've been in this, me growing multiple brands, multiple business, consulting hundreds of businesses and things like that. They're given that knowledge and expertise through my internship program. And I've been running that for over 7 years. And because of that, I've had over 300 plus students being able to get to very quickly in their careers, graduate from college, getting top of the line employment, getting offers that they never would have gotten if they did not have the experience. As a matter of fact, I have one right now that actually got an employment opportunity at a large IT company that has tons of government contracts. And because her experience and the mentorship that she received from me, she's able to, they really, really want to bring her on because of that particular piece. So for me, it would be my time in doing that. It would also be, my expertise in giving back into our next gen community.
What is one thing that has contributed to your success?
So definitely one thing, number one for me, is my relationship with God, for sure. My spirituality and all of that has meant the world, and I cannot go a word more without saying that. But also the community that I've had around me that have supported me. My husband, he has supported me in every venture that I have had from the very beginning that I had an idea. And, having that level of support has meant everything, because it's someone that has your back, it's someone that sees your blind spots and things like that and identify that, and someone that allows you to dream beyond even what you think is possible for yourself. So, those things, and, my family and even like my children, they have been an inspiration as well, has been, the driving force of why I do what I do, why I am interested in continuing to support next gen community and how I impact that community and how I impact business owners and entrepreneurs in their own way. And so that definitely, my support team is definitely what has given me the level of success that I have today.
Tell us about brand identity, if it is really important.
Absolutely. So you hear so often that, oh my gosh, I don't know if I should do this particular business, sell this product or service because this person's already doing it, this guru's already doing it, there's 50 million people already doing it. You hear this all the time, right? And so this whole concept of people feeling like, well, maybe I need to get into a niche online that's not as saturated. There's no such thing. Every niche is saturated. Everybody is doing pretty much everything. But the one thing that differentiates you from the next person is your own personal brand, your own identity, that thing that really makes you different. So no matter what it is, no different than I'm marketing and branding, the next person can be doing marketing and branding. No one is going to do it the way Keisha does it. No one is going to bring the level of impact that Keisha's going to bring, just like that very next person. And everyone has their own community and people that are going to attract to them, that's very different from the next expert, the next guru, the next entrepreneur, the next online business owner. So it's super important to really, really take serious your branding, your personal brand, because that is what's going to attract the people that absolutely love you and will follow you and buy from you and be a part of that tribe.
When shall we start our own personal branding? Once we have established ourselves or from the beginning?
From the very beginning. So you have a personal brand, whether you're still trying to wrap your head around it or not, right? It's not you creating a character, right? It's not you creating or trying to mimic someone else and what they're doing in the world. Because remember, we're differentiating ourselves from the next person, and that's what's going to make us successful in our own world. So it's important that you're true to yourself and who you are, and those quirky things that you feel like are odd about you, or that you've grown up to like, oh my gosh, not like, or you think maybe people have made fun of you because of different things. All of those different things are part of and can become part of your personal brand. Those are the things that people are going to love. They're going to fall in love with you. That's going to make you unique from the next person. So you have that day one. You have that day one. So when you start attracting your target audience, there's nothing you have to prepare for, because you are showing up as yourself. So yes, you need to be doing that day one, because that is what's going to launch the business, grow the business, and have you to acquire that tribe-like community.
What grounds you?
Right back to that again. So when you're impacting people and when you're doing amazing work in your world, and when you see this influence and people are coming back and they're praising you for how you have changed their life and how you have influenced them in some way, it's so important to come back to the place of, you are this person in this vessel and who is carrying out this mission and this God-given talent that you have been given and that he has entrusted in you to share with people. And so me knowing that I am the vessel and I am only obedient to God in what it is that he has me to do here on this earth with the things that he has given me is what keeps me grounded, because it no longer is about me. It's not about me. It's about the people that he wants me to touch through the blessing and through the gift that he's given me. So if I'm keeping that in mind at all times, and I go back to that, and even at times when I feel like I'm off kiltered or I feel like there's imbalance, a lot of times there may be imbalance there. And so really that relationship with God for me is that thing. That relationship is the thing that really keeps me grounded in what it is that I'm doing and keeps me focused and on point with what I need to do next.
Okay, let's talk about your business. Tell us more about it.
Yeah, so, oh my God, I feel like I have several different things that I've developed over time. Again, I mentioned, focusing on one, and I've done that very well with focusing on one and then kind of building out, and then it led me to several streams. So basically, there's two main different ways that I work with businesses and entrepreneurs. I have a full service marketing agency, which everything dealing with marketing and branding, personal branding, creative design, and really bringing out a person's brand. So there's high visibility there. There is, profitability there, next level profitable, because you can be a genius. You can be absolutely amazing at what you do, but if no one knows about you, then you cannot be successful in business. And so I help people from the branding perspective, as far as the creative side, the branding side, the logo, the website design, but also very uniquely, what makes me unique is I go through it by way of a branding process. And I make sure that you not only are true to your own personal brand, but that you are also sending out the messaging, the visual elements, and all of that good stuff that's going to connect with your ideal audience, which is going to obviously trigger them to do business with you. So that's what I do on the marketing and branding side of things. I also do coaching and consulting. So I help business owners and entrepreneurs specifically in the online space, but I also do help those that are not on the online space, but mainly on the online space, and I help them get clear about business and where they are today. I help them get clear because there's so much noise out here and so much shiny object syndrome that we cannot be effective or impactful if we are not clear about where it is that we are going or making the right decisions. Pruning when we need to prune, that means taking away things that don't need to be there, that are not serving us, is super important to business success. So I help my clients with that. And then I also help them get highly visible, like I talked about, in different ways and strategies that I use with my clients. And then ultimately, this all leads to next level success and next level profitability. So those are the ways that I work with them. I have programming behind my coaching and consulting work, and I have services on my marketing agency side.
Wow. What is your charges? Is this like a subscription, a monthly subscription, or do you have like a one-off charge?
Yeah, so I have a couple different ways you can work with me on the coaching and consulting side. I do have, it's called the Business Diamond. It's programming. It's a group program. And there's two different ways that you can come in by way of that. There's a way we come in where it's $97 per month to come in for a 12-month term. And that's kind of a subscription. Or there is a one-time fee that you can come in and you have lifetime access. So if you come in at the one-time fee, it's $700. So that's one way to work with me in the group coaching side of it. The other piece of it, which has served my clients highly, is a VIP deep dive session, which is kind of my, what I say is my VIP day. It's a 3-hour day, and we can do this virtually. If you're local to me, we can do it in person, but most of them are done virtually online. And we literally dig through all of everything you have going on, all your assets, everything to get you clear, get you a framework, get you a roadmap, and get you your next steps of where you need to go in business so that you can become profitable if you're not currently profitable, or next level profitable by going through this step. So that is more of a one-on-one type of thing. That's a 3-hour thing that I do, and it's like a deep dive, and we really get in there. That particular VIP session is $700 for that. So those are like the two ways that you can work with me on the coaching side of it, through the group programming and then the one-on-one.
Where can we find this product, and how can we connect with you?
Yeah, so I'm literally, I feel like on every social media platform, at least almost on all. But the easiest and quickest way to contact me is really through my contact page. I definitely, some of my marketing agency services are on my website at getpinkicing.com. That's GET. pinkicing.com. If you go to the contact page and you just go ahead and put in there your information and then a note to me of what you might be interested in, I can go ahead and connect by way of that, because I do have, like I said, several other offerings as well that I offer on the back end. So that would be the easiest way to contact me, through the website.
So, Clan, there will be more from Kisa in a moment. If you are listening on one of the many podcasting platforms rather than my website, and you are encouraged by Kisha's journey, go to onlinesuccessjourney.com for a bonus portion of the interview. The Online Success Journey is a wonderful membership community built for people searching for the path to success. We are one big clan, and you can be part of this community for free. Once you have joined the clan, click on part of Kisha's journey or over 200 plus other journeys that are available, and learn how you can find the right path for your own online success journey. That's a wrap, clan. Remember, success is a journey. Patience and Kisa.
This is not the end of the journey. We hope you've enjoyed listening to part 1 and want to be sure you know there is a second part to this and every journey podcast at onlinesuccessjourney.com, filled with even more success tips, uplifting stories, and even a bit of fun. There are dozens of episodes only available to the members of the Online Success Journey clan. Check out the website and click on Join the Clan for more information. Patience would like to thank you for listening to this podcast, and she has a free audio gift for you at her website. Go to onlinesuccessjourney.com for instant access to this gift. Of course, you know that listening to the journeys of others helps each of us chart our own path. So make sure you're subscribed to be notified as each new interview is posted. There are so many ways to stay connected to the Online Success Journey and to listen in. And if you're enjoying the podcast, we appreciate your help in telling others. One of the best ways to share the benefit you get is to rate and review it at Stitcher and other sites by clicking the stars or completing the ratings form, by clicking thumbs up and leaving a comment on YouTube, or liking and sharing the podcast on social media. To review the podcast within iTunes, simply open iTunes to the podcast, click on Ratings and Reviews, then write a review. On behalf of Patience, and until next time, thanks once more for listening. It is our hope that this podcast will guide you on your own online success journey.